right?
It has. It's been good. How's everyone? Family good?
Yeah, finally got over the 4 month long sickness, but
Oh,
it's like 60 degrees today and like 30 on the weekend, so I'm sure that's coming back. But everybody's good, man.
that's good. Kids are good. Wife's good. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how was
we
your
were.
trip to Florida?
Man, I got to tell you, I'm so depressed being back up north. Really was. It was a nice time, but you know, I'm lucky I have the luxury to work from there, right? So I didn't have to literally, it's not just like I'm on vacation. So I had a chance
Yeah.
to work the first week. The second week I took off like the second week and then half of the other week. And we had my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law came down the first week, and then when they left, my daughter came down with her girlfriend and she stayed for like 6 days. So I was able to have some company, which was nice. But just the weather and just the only thing I missed, Chris, honestly, was being away from the hobby. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
right? Like I planned on going to a hobby shop that I used to frequent when I would go down there, and he wasn't open anymore. So I don't know if he sold or he went out of business, but he's not there anymore. So I found a couple of boxes in Target, but that really wasn't
Mm-hmm.
what I wanted to rip. I wanted to rip some hobby stuff. So no, other than that, it's really good. But on another note, can I ask, how's the shop?
The shop is going just as slow and steady as the turtle who beat the hare, man. We are in the process of being done, being open. My boss said yesterday we're looking at 45 to 60 days till we're ready to be open for business. And then probably a grand opening hopefully in June, but they asked, still I keep it mostly under wraps. Just say, hey, we're opening a shop. It's going to be in the Columbus area. It's going to be soon. And I was texting you earlier, man, when I have my LJ, if you don't know, I work at LJ's Card Shop. If you're just watching this thinking I'm Chris, and Gold Line. And so that's what we're talking about is LJ's is opening a card shop. But Vito, I do have my own podcast over there, LJ's Card Lounge, and I'm going to have you as a guest when we make that announcement. Because you and I have done so many podcasts together, so many shows, so many around the hobbies, so many just whatever that I was thinking about. I was sitting downstairs playing a Disney video game with my daughter, how this was going to play out in my head, thinking
All right.
my social
I have
strategy.
to stop you for a second because as you are, I'm a Disney freak just like you.
Yeah.
What Disney video game are you playing?
She plays Disney Dreamlight. Her and my wife love. I got us a PS5 for Christmas, and they play this Disney Dreamlight game where the Disney disappeared somehow because the magic went away, and you have to work to get every character, every house, every whatever back, and it's kind of cool. So Claire was downstairs playing. I was hanging out, just watching her, and texting with you. So
That's awesome. So I'll tell you, I had it on my list to talk about anyway. So during the beginning of the year, like between now and probably mid-year, I do a little bit more work travel than I normally would, right? Like we have shows and events similar to National, right? We have a show for pet food that all different vendors come and buyers go there and customers go. Anyway, the first show that's coming up is in Orlando. So, and God bless my wife for allowing me to do this. So I'm going to work Monday through Friday in Orlando at the convention center. And then on Friday, probably midday, I'll sneak out and I'm spending somewhere Friday night at one of the parks, staying over and spending a full day Saturday all by myself. I got my park passes today for the 2 days and I'm going to do a little Disney fix. So, yeah, my wife, God bless her for saying, yeah, no problem. You can spend some time at Disney. Are you guys doing Disney this year?
We are not. Well, maybe we might do Orlando for like a long weekend. My wife and I were talking about like right when school ends or right before it begins, going like a Friday through Monday, but more or less staying at a resort and not doing all the parks because we're going to Virginia next month and then Arizona in November. And it just got me thinking too is, with my job, I do social media, I do posts, I do sales, I do a lot. I do a lot of everything. And so this resort I have heard has very poor cell reception and you got to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Yikes.
So Vito, I have decided I worked when I was in Aruba. Like I worked when I was in Disney. I worked when I'm like, I'm just gonna enjoy my family for a week.
Yeah,
and that's the first time I can say that in a really long time, because it's really hard for me to just shut it off. Like it's difficult, and I'm gonna try my best to just shut it off.
I am blessed that I work for a place that never ever expects when your work life to kind of get involved in that work life balance ever.
Oh yeah, they would be mad at me that I worked when I was in Aruba and stuff. They're like, "Stop it! What are you doing? Stop it!" Like they're very good at the work life balance. I didn't mean to come off that way.
Yeah, no, I do think that there's the word balance is interesting. I think Bezos was the one that talks about it's not a balance. It's not a 50-50, right? There are going to be times when it's 90% work, 10% home, right? And then there's going to be time when it's 90% home, 10% work. And I think that's really what you have to try to figure out is when is the right time, when it's 90-10 one way or 90-10 the other way. And, when I go away, so I'll tell you when I was in Aruba last year myself, and by the way, the resort you stay at, my wife was showing me that they are doing some solid work at that resort.
See, well, that's the reason we're not going this year.
I know.
Because it's all under the renovations. So excited to see it next year.
The pool looks like it's going to be insanity, that area. First of all, it's fun already walking through there because I stayed at the one that was behind there. You kind of walk through there to get to the...
Yeah, a couple of my friends right down the street have stayed there.
Yeah. So I will tell you that in Aruba, if I was up really early and everyone was kind of still laying around or my wife was reading, I may run through emails pretty quick. But otherwise, you have to disconnect once in a while because if you don't, you're just never going to recharge the right way. And I did feel like Aruba allowed me to fully recharge. Like that was the one trip where you always say like, oh, you're going to come back recharged from vacation. Most of the time I need another vacation when I come back. And
I get you.
And Aruba, I told my boss too, I was like, it clicked. There was a point in that trip where it just clicked that I said, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to work because I feel like I did not work and I am ready to go. So yeah, no, good for you though. I hope you don't have any cell service and you're able to just chill out and
yeah. I told my wife this will be a camera in my pocket.
Yeah, that's it.
Just want to take some pictures of my kids.
So something new happened with me with this travel. I got a Kindle for my birthday.
Oh,
and listen, I want to tell you that I read. I want to tell people I'm a reader. I'm not a reader, and I've got it 3 weeks ago, and I read 2 books already.
Oh. I am a very much Audible person and book listener. My wife will read 8 books at a time. I like to listen to books. Like, yeah, just my thing.
How long is your? Probably nothing. What's your commute to work? A few minutes?
Depends if I get the red light at Sunbury Road, 12 minutes or not. About 12 minutes.
Do you walk there in the better weather?
No, it's actually a couple of miles.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it would take hours to walk there.
What about bicycle?
I could bicycle. Yeah, I haven't, but I could. I do have a nice bike, but just haven't.
I'm noticing, I switched. I had a different T-shirt on, and now I'm noticing your T-shirt.
My Merry Christmas.
Which I have to call out.
Shitter's full. Can't see it there because it's bad words. But yeah, man, it's an almond shirt. You know how I roll.
I went with this was a stocking stuffer, a little trading card shirt here. I don't remember when they were actually 50 cents for cards, but
we weren't alive then.
No, I think, I was thinking about this the other day. I can't believe you just said that. So up the block from and the reason I was thinking about it is for whatever reason on my eBay search, I must have at one time been looking for a Ricky Henderson rookie card in a PSA 8, 9, or 10, right? I had like any one of those numbers there and I was looking for them. And so I wake up in the morning and it's like, here's your results. And I remember going to the candy store, literally, 15 feet from my house. We used to walk right across the street, and this lady, Millie, had this candy store, and she had the cello packs, right? And you could, if you were smart and you could see a color and you're like, oh shit, that's green, right? That's going to be the Henderson in there. Or, and who knew in 1980 that was going to be the card? But I remember those cello packs, and I was just curious, like, do you guys mess around with vintage a lot? Like,
yeah,
unopened vintage?
We not that old. We have a ton of junk wax era cases of cards in our storage unit right now because we moved out of our office because we're opening the shop. We're doing renovations, so most of the stuff's in the storage unit for like the next month. But we literally have boxes and cases of Donruss, Tops, Fleer, and it's mostly 88 through 92. Got some upper deck, 89 upper deck, 90 upper decks in there.
Got some Griffies in there.
Yeah, we've got some good stuff. We've got some terrible stuff, but it's just for guys like you and me, it's fun to open.
Yeah.
And then you go to card shows and you can sell them for like $2 a pack just because, hey, you know what? I've got $2 here. I want that nostalgia. I want to get that Mark McGuire. I want to get that Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
You know, so people, I mean, they're really worth like, and not $2, but people will pay money at card shows to rip the nostalgia.
Yeah, I hear you there. And there are plenty of people like you go to National, there are booths that are just dedicated to that type of business. You know, they have a whole table full of just unopened old wax. But I was just curious if I see that email every morning and I say, I got to get my hands on a cello pack. And you know, the ones I'm talking about, I had the peg and I had three clear fat packs in there pretty much.
We've got plenty of those sitting in boxes. I mean, we deal a lot in vintage cards. Like we've got a ton for sale on our eBay right now, but that's singles and sets that we're breaking up because you collect the set. You know what? Now it's time for someone else to collect the set. So
yeah. Do you do a lot of set building?
I don't personally, but our business does. I'm more in the modern, ultra modern.
I know we're going to open some series 1 in a little bit. And I got to tell you, like, I've already filled my desk with just base cards, right? Mm-hmm. And we talk about this every week. We chat. I struggle with who really wants a Julio Rodriguez 4th-year card, right? Like base card.
Yes, I don't like to collect modern and ultra modern sets. I mean, like I'll buy the literal top sets in, you know, sealed and keep them for my kids because I want them to have one for each year that they've been alive, and I think that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
As far as like buying a bunch of top series 1 and putting the set together, like no, that's not my thing. I'd rather chase a rainbow, except for now they've got 81 parallels and they got rid of Mother's Day and Father's Day in black, so that's not cool.
Yeah,
but
everyone loved the Mother's Day and the Father's Day.
Yeah, I'm not. I hear it's going to be in series 2 though. So.
I mean, black is one that I don't think should have went away, right? I get the switching up to Mother's Day, Father's Day, maybe, but the black was such an important one. We're gonna open. I have a blaster box. I got it from Fanatics. I got the blur on in my background, so you're not really seeing it well. But this is the Fanatics one, which has the 9 packs. So we don't have to open all 9, but we'll open some of that today. And then
why is that different from the norm, Vito?
So that one's direct from Fanatics website. I think it's got 2 extra packs. I think the regular blasters only have 7. These have 9, and they have a special insert that has, it's kind of like the logo fractor. It's got the tops. Let me see if I got one handy.
Well, see what I'm getting at is, you know, you buy a blaster from Target and Meijer and Walmart, Fanatics, they could all be different. Same with hangers, have different stuff in it.
Yeah. See, this has the tops on the border.
Yeah, I dig.
That's from the Fanatics set. And you're right. I mean, it was funny. I was trying to explain it. My wife was in Walmart. We don't have Walmart in New York. So when we see a Walmart, it's an exciting thing in Florida. So she calls me, FaceTimes me and says, "Hey, what about these? What about these?" And I'm like, "No, you know, I don't really, you know, I don't need those." And she's like, "What about this?" And she's like, "But what's the difference between this and this?" And I'm trying to explain, well, that's a mega box. And she's like, "I don't think it's fair that some boxes have better stuff." And I'm like, it's not that it has better stuff. People know what they're buying, right?
Yeah.
So if they're buying retail, they know that there's no guarantee of certain things. But if they're buying hobby, there's certain guarantees, right? And then, you know, I'm going to share something later about one of my guarantees that turned out to be probably the biggest hit I've ever pulled in my life.
And I'm so excited to talk to you about it because I've already seen it.
Yeah, you have seen. You were one of the first I texted. I didn't even overreact, right? Everyone was sleeping in the house, and I just I didn't scream or anything like that. Like I probably wanted to.
But were you shaking?
No, I wasn't. That's the thing.
I just think it's so funny when people say that.
Yeah. No, yeah, there are people you watch it, they peel back that 101 and they're like, and then of course it's the Tom Brady signed card.
Or you get the people who peel back the out of 10 of a 19th year Warren Sapp retirement card. Like, oh my God, it's the best hit I've ever had. I'm like, that's like $4, bro. But cool story.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun hit. And we'll share that in a little bit. Otherwise, before we move into some sports chat, because I definitely want to talk to you about college basketball for sure. Spring training, I want to talk to you about. I don't know if we're talking much about the NFL draft yet, but I will tell you that I am tomorrow, unfortunately, going to check my knee. My knee has been absolutely killing me, and I'm ready to go to Disney. I'm ready to go to National. I'm ready to do all these things where I have to be on my feet, and I may need a cortisone shot tomorrow. So just killing me that my knee is bothering me, and I'm so aggravated that it ruined part of my trip last week because just was tightening up and just annoying the crap out of me. So pissed off about that, but I wanted to let you know that my knee was bothering me and I'm pissed off about it. Anyway, let's talk. For the first time as a New Yorker, I can talk about the Johnnies. The Johnnies are ranked number 7th in the country. I mean, are you aware of this?
No. This St. John?
St. John's.
Rick Pitino's?
Rick Pitino.
I saw they had a huge win. I think it was first Kentucky because there was a big thing with Calipari. No, that was Arkansas. Never mind.
Look at this.
But yeah, I see my Dukies are up there, which, by the way, they did beat Auburn. So just want to throw that out there.
Is that one of Auburn's 2 losses?
Yeah. Duke lost to Kansas and Kentucky both in the first week of the season, and then they lost at Clemson like 2 weeks ago. But this looks like the 2000 team where it was just they got beat by Connecticut and Rip Hamilton in the final. But I watched a lot of college basketball. It looks like to me Duke and Auburn, and then everybody else.
Yeah, we have not had this kind of excitement, especially. I will tell you that my high school was like the sister college or the brother college, whatever you want to call it. A lot of the kids I graduated with went to St. John's University. Ironically, Staten Island, where I live in New York, also we had a campus that just closed last year, but we had a Staten Island St. John's University campus as well. So I kind of grew up with St. John's. And I was always a Georgetown fan, which is why I loved Patrick Ewing when he became a Knick. But St. John's, my brother went there, and just going there and meeting my friends and driving by it every day when we were going to school, just to see them up there in the top, it's pretty exciting. So, because we don't have college sports like the rest of the country does. It's just not a big deal here.
And I've talked about it many times. Columbus is absolutely an Ohio State town.
Yeah.
And I do got to tell you, though, Vito, first kid-free weekend, not weekend, but night my wife and I have had since like September. We went to a wedding in Philadelphia. Last Saturday, we went down to the Columbus Blue Jackets game. And I'm looking up tickets. Minuteman Scott, got a shout out to him because he did hook it up with some tickets. Solid
dude.
He lives like 5 minutes from me too, so if he rips me off, I can go to his house and beat him up. I'm just kidding. Scott is way bigger than me, would take me down.
Scott is a big part of the district group.
Yeah, he's awesome. I like him a lot. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, my wife's like, man, we haven't been in like 3 years to a Blue Jackets game. We're probably not going again. So we bought second row on the ice right behind the penalty box, Lexus lounge seats, like spent all the money, right? And so the Columbus Crew, who won it all, our professional soccer team won it all 2 years ago, lost in the playoffs last year, had their home opener the same night. And I have not seen downtown Columbus that poppin' in 20 years.
Really?
Both games were, and then the Columbus Clippers, which used to be the Yankees, used to be the Nationals,
right.
Now the Guardians, minor league team. All three parks are right next to each other. In like a month and a half, when they all three have games at the same time,
It's a
it's going to
party.
be wild.
Yeah, it's one city, and I told you I travel a lot for work. I've never been to Columbus. I've been to Cleveland. I've been to Cincinnati, but I've never been to Columbus. And you know,
Well, you're going to need a weekend out here for our grand opening.
oh, absolutely. And listen, my daughter lives in Pittsburgh, which, by the way, their home opener is against the New York Yankees. Their home opener. So unlikely we'll see Skeens. They have 7 games on the road before their home opener.
Oh yeah.
So he'll, if all things play out, he'll probably pitch game 1 and then game 6.
And see, with the Reds, they used to be the first game. They used to have like the 12-10 pitch when everyone else had 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then they got into like the Thursday night, the Sunday night, like the opener on ESPN and stuff. But the Reds still have always had their first game as a home game. But just unfortunately, we're going to be in Virginia that week. It just happens to be the week of spring break. So it's like the second opening day I'm going to miss in the last 20 years.
Yeah, I looked at we're gonna try to get to Pittsburgh for that, at least for the Saturday game, not the Friday night, which would be the home opener. I do think that game actually starts at 4:12, which is the area code for Pittsburgh, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. The White Sox used to be sponsored by 7-Eleven, the gas station, so their games would start at 7-Eleven.
Oh, wow.
7:10. So yeah, I did hear that Pittsburgh games are starting at 4:12. I mean, 2-minute difference just because that's the area code. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, and I think people take a lot of pride in that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. People from
really
Columbus, like one of our people we work with, 614 Mixed Breaks. He's because the 614. My buddy Noah, he runs 614 Life on, Twitter or not Twitter, YouTube and Instagram. Like. Dude is a YouTube sensation and star, and all he does, his name is 614 Life. Like, people are so proud to be where they're from. Look at Eminem and 8 Mile and the 313. That's all I gotta say.
I'm watching the chat. We actually have some people in there from our group. It looks like Kevin's in there, of course, causing some commotion there. Kevin said, I need a backwards hat as well.
Oh, you know what? That's my brother, Kevin.
Oh, that's your brother, Kevin.
Yeah, because every time my buddy Josh from LJ's and I do our LJ's Card Lounge, we both have a backwards hat on.
Okay, so Kevin, if you're still out there watching, welcome. And he also said he wanted to know if that was Dr. Pepper. Probably not in your glass.
It is red wine tonight.
Red wine tonight, and then
it is the hobby happy hour. So
it is
the first time
I've
enjoyed a beverage on the happy hour. So.
That's true. I mean, you did come up with the name, so I give you all the credit for that. And then he said Tucker was barking, so he's calling out your dog as well.
Well, that was Moana. Tucker doesn't bark so much. Tucker's a good boy.
So the good news is that people were able to get in here because we're testing this. Really, we've been using the Riverside, which I think that alone is a pretty cool platform. I mean, I think there's a lot of editing features that you could do at the end, and and then immediately, and a lot of them do that anyway. But I find it really easy to use. But now we're kind of like doing this little studio thing on the side here with YouTube, and we'll figure it out. But it's pretty cool to have your brother Kevin. So welcome to your brother Kevin, who joined us today.
And he also works part-time at LJ's. It's a full-time job, but also works just because he likes it. He loves it. He right now is pricing out cards. He lists cards. He's part of LJ's crew. I think he's LJ's Jake on Twitter because that was his dog.
I gotta hook up with your brother then. Talking about pricing, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about that in a little bit about how you price things and sell things, and we'll when we get into the hobby stuff, we'll talk about that. But just anything more with sports, I know I texted you to talk about the hockey game. Kind of old news already now, but it was pretty exciting to see hockey kind of get some primetime airplay there. And you've been watching spring training at all? Not at all. Did you ever go to spring training?
In high school, I don't know, my junior, senior year of high school, we had a baseball trip to Bradenton, Florida.
Okay.
That's when the Reds were down in Florida playing, and we went to a spring training game then. And it was like at a high school. We were in like the third row of some high school stadium watching the Reds play. I don't know who it was 25 years ago, but I remember like there was dirt everywhere, like a gravel parking lot. I mean, it was not Great American Ballpark. It was not PNC. It was, you were playing in some, yeah, random Florida. I mean, we were playing at the IMG Academy. Like, our fields were better than what the Reds were playing on. I mean, this is also like year 2000 probably.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I've been. I mean, I'd like to go, but yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get a chance. Like, Arizona's far away for a week just to go out to watch baseball.
And I'm there. It really depends on, for me, when I'm in Florida, you know, the Mets are kind of close in Port St. Lucie. I think Jupiter has a team. I think Palm Beach. I think the Astros may have been there, but they may actually share that facility. So there's a few on the East Coast which were in driving distance. None of the games had started by the time we were already kind of making our way back. So I missed it this year. And when, you know, the Braves used to use Disney World as their spring training, the Wide World Sports, that used to be the Atlanta Braves. There were times when we were there for that show that I was talking about, where it was, because that's in March, where the Braves were there. And I know some of my colleagues went. I never got a chance. So as close as I've been, I've never got a chance. And let me tell you, that's one of the first things I do when I know where I'm going somewhere. I look to see if there's a pro game, like a pro game, college game, something worthwhile. And even when I was down there, really, there was nothing with the Heat. There was nothing with the Panthers. So hockey was not an option. Neither was NBA basketball. And then when I go to Orlando, same thing. I think they're on the road. I always look, though, because I think it's cool to do that.
Samesies, man. Every time we've gone to Orlando, the Magic has been either not in season or out of town. And a couple times we've actually planned our trip around Broncos games. Like we went to Orlando and the Broncos were playing Tampa that weekend. So we just drove down to Tampa for that Sunday. You know, we've done stuff like that too. Or, oh, hey, you know what? Such and such is in town this week. We've got 3 weeks to choose from. Why don't we choose that week so we can do that and go check out that game?
Have you ever
when we go to Virginia, also, you know, we're going to DC for 2 days as well. The Nationals are going to have their second game of the year. Everybody goes to opening day. Nobody goes to the second game of the year.
Right.
So you can buy some club seats so you're not sitting out in the cold for super cheap and go with a bunch of my friends and cousins who live out there.
Yeah, DC is a great city. You're going to enjoy that too. It's a great, great town.
Yeah, we've been there a bunch of times, but I think the kids are older now and can kind of appreciate.
Yeah, we never, you know, my friends and I, we never really did a big, except for once. We did for when my brother turned 40. Now we're talking almost 15 years ago. When he turned 40, and probably 14 years ago, he's going to be 54. We did, there was 8 of us, and we went Citi Field. The Mets had a 12:30 game on a Thursday afternoon. So we went to that game, and then we went back to one of my buddy's house. We got all shower changed, and when we went to the airport, we flew to Boston that night. And we got to Boston. When we woke up on Friday morning, we hung out in Boston, and then we went to the Red Sox game that night. They played the Mariners. So now we had the Mets and Cardinals when Pujols was still on the Cardinals. Right? I think he was still on the Cardinals. And Ichiro was on the Mariners, so we got to see Ichiro in Fenway. And then on Saturday morning, we flew to Pittsburgh, and Saturday night, we saw the Cardinals again. They were doing the little East Coast thing, so they were in Pittsburgh. So we got to see them against the Pirates. And then on Sunday morning, we drove to Cleveland, and we saw the White Sox play Cleveland. And then a couple of guys stayed over to go see the Reds play the Mets on Monday. But that was the only time I ever did So the thing is, you have to coordinate like all those different, like, are they home? Are they not home? And, you know, if you get one of those teams is not home, could ruin the whole concept of that trip, you know.
And if you remember last time the Nationals was in Chicago, the White Sox were home and I believe the Cubs are home this time. So I remember I was two times ago in Chicago. Cubs were home, and Ben from Midwest and Eloy and all the bunch of the district guys all got bleacher seats together, and I just couldn't make it with my my prior commitments. And then the White Sox, I really Hecker and Buck City Chris, they put it together, and I really had like just no desire to go to that. But I would love to go back to Wrigley. I lived half a block, well, 2 blocks away from Wrigley for a year and a half. So
really.
I mean, it was, post Janet Jackson, and they call it the Janet Jackson rule, working in TV, because everything's on a 30-second delay. If someone hit a home run, I could hear the roar of the crowd before it happened on TV.
Really?
From my apartment. If my windows were open, and, all the time I'd walk down just the sports corner, which is a bar just right around the, corner from the game, to sit there, have a couple of drinks, like third, fourth inning, get in the game for like $10. Just go. Because scalpers are trying to get rid of their tickets by then. Like, they're just going to eat it. Like, they'll take $10 just to give me a, wherever seat.
Yeah,
it was awesome, man.
It's fun going to different places like that. All right, you wanna start opening some packs?
Yeah, dude, let's do it. Top Series 1. Let's talk about it a little bit first. So, I know you love Flagship. It's one of the 3 real big flagship products from Topps.
Yeah.
First one of 2025. They boosted it. I believe it was 81 parallels this year. Good luck on a rainbow. But, we said they got rid of some of our favorites. But look, you and I say every year I'm not going to open it, and I do.
So I did a couple of different variations, and there's reason why. So I always get myself at least 2 jumbo boxes. I still got 1 jumbo box I haven't opened yet here. I don't know what made me pick up the Fanatics boxes instead of the regular, but listen, there's 2 extra packs in these, and we're gonna open these in a minute. I'm gonna set up my other camera so we could open them live here. And then I get a hobby box through the Midwest box break group. That's part of being a member there. You can get some wax for good prices. So they limit it to 1, which is fine. And I think that's the right thing to do, so nobody abuses it. But I got my 1 box from them. And then I ordered 3 megas for my daughter. So when she comes back from school, she likes ripping boxes. So I bought a little of everything this year. And I'm gonna try to set up this second camera here.
So while you set that up, do you want me to go ahead and rip my silver pack, or?
Yeah, man. What now? Tell us how you ended up with just a silver pack.
All right. So this, I'm going to sell these cards now. These are not mine.
Okay.
But for LJ's Card Shop, we have a sports card vending machine, and for that, took a couple of boxes of Topps Series 1, and we have this little mechanism here, which I'm going to put this pack in just to show you real quick. And it goes in, and it comes out like this. So no bent corners, no anything. There's a conveyor belt system and everything. So your packs come out perfect. But with the silver packs, I got them left over. We sell them sometimes. We open them sometimes. I can't really just sell a silver pack in a vending machine when I'm selling a bunch. So I decided tonight I'm going to open this silver pack and then sell these cards on our site. So
cool.
I'm just going to go right at it. You want to tell them what a silver pack is while I'm opening here?
So that it's only in hobby for those who want to understand the differences of the products. So if you walk into a Target, that's considered retail product. And really the big differences, in addition to price, is the guarantees, right? So the hobby boxes, which traditionally you can get online through Topps Direct, on eBay if someone's selling them, or at your local card shop or show, those have guarantees. And in addition to the guarantees, what I mean by the guarantees is the hobby box will have a guaranteed either relic or an auto, but they also have one of these packs that Chris is opening now. Now the jumbo, which I opened a box of, has actually 2 of those packs. Plus it has 3 guaranteed hits. They call them hits. 1 autograph, at least 1 autograph, and 2 relics. And I'm going to share one of my hits a little bit. So Chris is going to open one of these silver packs. You can get numbered cards. You can get autos in these.
First card.
Ichiro, beautiful.
Ichiro.
Jeter.
Derek Jeter.
The beauty.
So far, 2 retirees.
2 Hall of Famers. Looks like you got a rookie card there.
Jake Bloss. For all you Toronto Blue Jays fans who've never heard of Jake Bloss before, samesies. And the last one in there, not a one-on-one or auto, but Spencer Schlewackenbach, rookie. So
Very
not
nice.
the best, not the worst. It is what it is. I enjoyed opening it, and that's what I did it for. Now let's see what you got, Vito.
So this is the first time I've ever ripped anything live like this. Let me get these mics off here so that we're not dealing with any background here. I never break. I already broke the first rule, right? I'm not selling these, so it doesn't matter. But the first rule is never pull it off camera, right?
You know what's funny, man? I made a video, I put it on YouTube, and a guy said, I can tell you don't know how to handle cards. You're using a blade on a raw box. I'm like, what do you think? I'm gonna mess up my cards because I got like my little, box cutter opening like the cellophane on a box. I just said, hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you being here.
All right, so we got 9. I know, right? Like, thanks for helping me out there. And then I try to watch some of these guys, right? And they turn the pack around here so that they get only the front. All right.
I really dig on this new style. I noticed in the jumbo I opened, it was like the 3rd and 4th letter because they have kind of like the bronzish, hollowish stuff, like right where it says Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
The 3rd and 4th letter were almost like rubbed off in almost every card in my packs.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, every year I say the same thing. I'm not gonna go through every one of these, but we'll look.
I like this year's design much better than recent years.
We got a rookie card there.
Can you get a little further away from the camera? We can't really.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. Again, this is all
it's all trial and error, baby.
All trial and error here. Let me see if that'll help. There you go.
But I did see there are Joey Votto Reds cards in this product.
Oh, that's cool.
Because last year they had Joey Votto Blue Jays cards, and he never actually played an inning for them.
Oh, interesting. Here's the first insert. You got a Julio Rodriguez. This is from this is a Grapefruit Cactus League. J-Rod. And then we have a Soto as a Yankee. Stars of MLB.
Still a good looking card, man.
They are pretty cool looking, right? They come in numbered.
And I like those home field advantage cards a lot. They want to be downtowns. They're just not. But if you want to sell me that Lodolo, I'll gladly buy it off you.
You don't have to buy it off me.
If you want to send me that Lodolo, I'll give you my address.
You can do that. Yeah. So this is the one that has those. I was telling you, has tops. So it's only available in the Fanatics boxes. So nice. That one's yours, Chris.
Thank you. Lodolo is one of my PCs that I don't tell many people about. I feel like, it's weird, man. I tell people you have a PC, and then all of a sudden they want to, like, my DMs are filled with way too overpriced stuff on it, on the same guys. And then it's like, I'm not buying your junk just because I get the guy. It's somebody that I collect. Or I've got the one of one. Let me charge you $800 for a 5th-year pitcher. Like, come on, man. It's like a $30 card. But
let me, I'm going to try to be fast like Ben, right? I don't know how he does it. He's able to see everything he knows, keeps everything. There's a rookie card right there. Called mail.
It's because he goes back later and sorts it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I know. He's not doing that live. All right.
It's way too time consuming.
First, I guess, insert here or parallel. Ringifo. Louis Ringifo. This is a sparkle, right? So this is not the tops. And then we got the Matty Chapman. Stars of the MLB. And then here you go. You can have this one too. This is the Cincinnati Reds team tops logo. You got
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I mean, you basically have a box that I should be opening right now. So
yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna open one more pack because not gonna bore everyone with my poor card handling here. And we'll see.
so what I do like about what you're doing though, Vito, is you're ripping the packs properly because some people rip them and I'm like, even my kids, I'm like, oh, you just damaged corners. Like I shouldn't care what my kids do, but I do.
Of course.
And then going through the cards carefully. And, you know, I know some people like my boss, he'll have 4 different stacks in front of him. These are the rookies. These are the base. This is the sleeves and this is the top loaders.
That's how I do it.
And I'll go through all of it and then do that. He does it while he's opening.
Oh no.
He'll put them into piles while he's opening. Like I can't do that. But you know, different strokes for different folks, man.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you're not damaging the stuff. And there's a Future Stars Jackson Holiday.
Have you seen how ripped he is now?
Well, I mean, let's look at what he looks like here. I mean, the guy's in pretty decent shape.
If his name was Barry Bonds, they'd be talking PEDs. But
well, we got a little color. Oh, we might have some color there. No, I think it's just one of the 1990 35th anniversary.
I do like the 90s better than the previous year's anniversary cards.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? It is a 90s. Suzuki. Pretty cool.
I have yet to see someone pull a no-name Frank Thomas, though. I'm sure someone has, just I haven't seen it because that's supposed to be in this product, isn't it?
What? It's a not. They didn't put old cards in the packs.
No, like a short print.
Yeah, short print. Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't seen one.
I haven't seen one either. All right, maybe one more because I'm having fun doing this, and then I want.
And that pack was pretty brutal. So
yeah, that was a bad pack. That's why
one more pack mojo.
I just broke my rule again about pulling it off, but that's okay. Another rookie.
But you know what? You're keeping them and not, Brandon Cooks to 99ing them. So
yeah,
we're all good there.
Kobe Mayo, he's a rookie. Oh, my inserts go in this pile, and then Zach DiZenzo, another rookie, is with the tops, and then you got another rookie here. All right, if we want to open one later, again, we can. I wanted to show you the style. I mean, again, I like them. Pretty cool. I always get excited about flagship, especially Series 1, because it means baseball season starting.
I miss opening day. Like we would buy a box of
opening product dead now?
Yeah. I went to one of our local card shops here and I bought a 2020 and a 2022 box. They're like $40 each. Because I mean, my dad, my daughter, and I would go to opening day, and then we would rip a box of opening day back in the hotel after the game, and it was cool. You had the mascots, you had the short prints. I mean, it's just anything at this point. It's almost just another product. But that was one that was cheap, affordable. You probably weren't getting anything worth money, but it was fun to open. I'm
gonna share a couple of the hits that I had already. So when you were talking about silver packs, I was mentioning guarantees, right? So I opened a hobby box so far and one jumbo box. So I should have 4 guaranteed hits, right? Relics, autos, some combination of that. But before I kind of share all of those, I did get a hit out of the silver packs. So this is a Chipper Jones. And I was shocked. I saw it. It's numbered to 199. So Chipper Jones, it's the Aqua silver pack. So Chipper Jones, number 199. That wasn't one of the guaranteed hits. That just came out of the silver packs. So I have 3 relics that I got. I have a Jordan City Connect.
Dude, I was just going to say, let me guess, it's an Astro.
Oh,
every time I open flagship, it's an Astros pitcher, but Jordan, I mean,
Jordan City Connect. let's continue the theme. Pena
Yep.
Connect.
Who's next? Altuve?
No, I was happy to see that it is a New York Yankee. Goldie.
Is that a bat relic?
Yeah, bat relic here. So, Hobby, the jumbo, and now I had myself one more hit, and it was supposed to be an autograph. And as I was opening the pack, I saw that there was another relic. Now, could have been an autographed relic, but I didn't see that yet from the back side of the card. And I was a little disappointed because I kept this thing down on this side, and I didn't really get a good chance to read this until I got through the rest of the pack, like you saw how I saw through them. And it's a Major League Material, dual autograph relic card, number to 25.
It's a little blurry.
A little blurry, yeah. It's hard.
Get a little further away.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we're clear.
I just got the light there above me. And when I turned it over, I realized we had Mr. Mike Trout and Mr. Bobby Witt. This is the best card I've ever hit. I think. I mean, I hit a Soto rookie card auto number to 5. I have a red Stadium Club Beam Team number to 5. We hit that out of a blaster box. Yeah, and I told you about silver packs. I did hit a update Tatis Junior 101 Superfractor, all right, from the silver pack.
My boss, back in the shop the other day, opened some silver packs. Like I said, we keep around from the vending machines. He had a Pete Crow Armstrong rookie auto out of, I think it was 50.
Out of 50.
I think it was out of 50. And then Julio, second year out of 99. So, I mean, they're not Bobby Witt, Mike Trout autos, but still, that's going to,
there you go. A little better
pay for your box.
A little better lighting on that baby. I put it right into a magnetic one touch, and there it is.
I love it, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Love to see it.
So I'm gonna leave the studio with that one now, and we'll come back to our. So that's my Series 1 story today. Now, you were talking to me about selling cards.
Yeah.
You asked me in a text. You said, I really want to talk about this. You also wanted to talk about, I'm not going to murder the name because I don't collect anything other than sports, but you obviously collect other things like Pokemon, and you'd mentioned the Warner Brother cards and the Cacawows. That's it. I'm not going to murder it.
Yeah. So Vito, this morning, my first hour I'm awake, not just awake, but working. I'm scouring the internet looking for new news, what's trending, what's in the hobby. And I see a post on Sports Card Nonsense. It's like, what did I do wrong in my listing here? Somebody just let me know. Feel free to roast me. And he's selling a Steph Curry card that I didn't really look it up, but it's a rookie card, and they're saying it's like a $300 card. He has it listed for $9,999 or best offer.
Okay.
He's like, what am I doing wrong? I'm like, well, first of all, you selling a $300 card for $10,000. Like, well, it says OBO. Like, I'm scrolling right past you if I see that. And then in the description, it said, does not have a soft or top right corner. So in my head, that card has a soft top right corner, but they only showed a picture of it inside of a top loader. Like a card of that stature, like at LJ's, we take a picture of the front, the back. I have a special light that I use that I'll go just like this with and see, do I see any scratches? No. Do I see any scratches? Yes, there's a scratch right there. Take a picture of that one and then list it in the description every single time. And then, or for sale or best offers, it's probably going to be higher than comps, or comps are a whole nother story. Higher than it's going to sell for, but it's not going to be $10,000 on a $300 card.
Right.
It's a $50 card, maybe 75 with best offers, auto decline at 25, depending on how liquid the card is, how much you just want to get rid of it, if you just want to hold on to it. But I think it's just so important to have quality pictures. Someone else was talking, about stack sales on Twitter. And I'm like, you don't even have what the card is or who these players are. It just says $1 each, and then there's 8 cards. I'm absolutely scrolling right past that. So I'm not going to stop, click on your picture, zoom in, scroll around, then see if someone claimed it. That's like 4 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
To buy a 50-cent card.
Right.
But you're the one selling to me. I'm not the one selling to myself.
Right.
So, I search for different players, different products, and it really bothers me. It doesn't bother me. Like, I don't stay up at night, but take good pictures, have good descriptions. Don't be a scumbag. Don't be a scammer, and be fair.
Yeah.
And you'll sell your cards.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there was a lot you had there where I definitely agree with you. I agree with everything you said, but where I really agree with you is the quality of what you're trying to sell, right? This is not a feel, especially if you're selling online, right? Like, it's not a touchy feel, right? I'm not going to be able to, like, obviously someone's going to want this card because of the pure value of the card, right? It's number 25, Trout, Witt, potential 2 Hall of Famers there. Witt's going to be an MVP player at some point in his career, maybe even win a World Series for Kansas City.
They got Jonathan India now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got a shot, right? They went to the playoffs last year. So
they made the wild card?
Yeah, they were in the wild card, right? Kansas City? Yeah, they played the Yankees in the first round. So my selling is a little bit different, right? Because I really don't use eBay unless it's something that is much higher dollar value, and I'm really counting on the eyeballs, right? Because for me, it's almost exclusively selling on District. Now, even with District, which is a much smaller audience right now, even all the work that Ivan and Ben have done, it's not eBay's audience yet, and they know that. But what it is, and we talked about this last time, it's a dedicated group of people that you can trust.
Yeah.
That's where huge. It is huge. And if you can continue to build on that foundation, you're going to have something there. So I rarely use eBay, but I am with you. Like, so as far as pictures and descriptions, I'm all in. Like, I want everyone to know I'll fill out every one of those drop downs, like where the card was manufactured. I just believe in full transparency.
Exactly.
What I hate is when someone will say, will this gem? And I'm like, I'm not a card grader. So I am telling you now, if you're buying this card thinking it's definitely going to gem, then don't buy it. I don't need to sell it to
you. And I'm really glad you brought that up, because I saw Jason Dardick from I think it's Dallas Card Shop or something down there. He made a comment. He was selling a Cooper Flag card for like $2,000. And someone commented, why aren't you grading this card? He's like, I just want to sell it. Like, I don't have to grade everything. He's like, well, what's wrong with the card? He's like, nothing. Like, it looks great. It could 10, it could 9. I have no idea. And he's like, I just want to sell the card. But people, like, we get that a lot too, because people are like, well, you grade everything. Why aren't you grading this card? Well, sometimes you just want to sell your stuff and not send a PSA, wait 4 months, get your card back, and then your card could have different value then. You just want to open it then and sell it now. And I saw someone too in my Cincinnati chat group that this made a lot of sense. And I think I'm going to try. They said, buy a bunch of the product on the day that it opens or that it releases. Get all of those cards up that you want to sell on auction and have 24-hour auction. Because I've always done 7-day. I'm like, well, I want everyone to see it. But we live in I want it now in the new shiny era. That's just what we live in now. So if you can just say this Derek Jeter's a 1 of 1, and I rip this on opening day, I get more money for it that day than I do today.
Absolutely.
And so it just resonated with me that, say I rip a case of Top Series 1. probably every silver card, every number card, every auto, every relic, except the one you hit, because they would just go on my shelf back over there. But they would go on a 24-hour auction, because I think that's how you maximize. And I never really thought of it until like 3 days ago, and I wanted to bring it up, see what you think of that.
And what's interesting about that is, like I showed you, and I'll pull one of them here. We were just opening packs, and this whole set of MLB stars, right? Like I think there's 30 cards in Series 1. I think there'll be 30 in Series 2, and then maybe another 30 in update, for a total of 90, maybe 100 cards are going to be in that complete set throughout the year. Now, there are people that just want to collect that set, that don't want all the base that literally is taking up. Like, I'm embarrassed to show you how much from a jumbo pack, a hobby pack, and all of those little blasters I open. There's a ton of base here, but there's a lot of people who just want those. And that you're exactly right. I should be putting those up, even if you get a couple bucks. It's a couple bucks towards another the box, right? So that's why I like it, because Ivan and Ben have, and it's part of it is my commitment to that group too. Ben started with the Discord group rather, and he had a handful of guys and gals that he allowed sell, right? And I was like over the top, like pictures and descriptions, and then when I would repost it, I would like delete the old one, and I always kept everything fresh. It just was really important to me, right? Because he didn't. That's
awesome.
He didn't give it to everybody to do. He only gave it to a handful of people. So why not be the best at it? And when he went to District and he asked me if I wanted to have a shop,
we got a thunderstorm going on outside.
Oh, really? I don't want to lose.
It's a February thunderstorm, man. Like,
no snow.
No, if this was all snow, it'd be a lot of fun. A lot of rain today, and right now, sorry to interrupt, but
no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we've been, knock on wood, weather's been great. We brought back the nice weather from Florida. When I went to District, same thing, like images, descriptions, pictures. But I want to talk about pricing in a minute. But now, in addition to having that quote unquote shop on District, they have the Monday Madness, and I've talked about this, right? I do one Monday a month. I skipped February because I was in Florida, but I'm doing March 10th again. And I look at the product I have and I say, how do I price this stuff? So my first thing is I usually go to, I know you're going to laugh, but I usually use the online Beckett tool just to get an idea of where the range is. And the reason I use that is because I don't want to sell cards that are only 20 cents. If something shows up as 20 cents, I'm not selling it. Like, I'll just put those in as filler in the box. But I want cards that are selling between $10, $15, $25, because then you get a nice flow of if you sell 50 cards on that auction and you're averaging $10 or $12, it starts to add up what you can make in a month, right? You're talking about a car payment for some people. And, I got to thank again Ivan for coming up with the idea and Ben for giving us the platform, but you have to be smart about your audience. It's the same people buying, like you said, right? We haven't really recycled. We keep recycling rather the same buyers and sellers over time. But you know what they like. And you have to learn that history too. Like if every week I'm putting up this J-Rod card that nobody's buying, well, maybe it's time to pull it out of the rotation. Right?
Yeah, man.
So, but pricing is weird for me because you talked about the $10,000 card. So when we were in National in Chicago, I had one of those Panini redemptions.
Yes. I was telling someone this story yesterday. I can't remember who, but it was awesome.
Yeah, I had the Bobo, right? That was the card that they owed me.
Oh, it was my buddy Chris from work. Different Chris.
Are you telling him my story? You telling him my story?
I'm going to send this to Chris. Yeah.
You're telling him my story. Okay. So I had the Bowl. I don't collect basketball, but I did it during COVID. I was bored. I bought a box, got the redemption card. I did the right thing. I went on there every time and I said, I still want it. I still want it. Finally got to the point where they said, hey, you have a choice now to like pick something else. I said, all right, I'll come to National. I signed up for that thing. And I went with my daughter, of course.
Yeah.
And I told her, listen, I don't I don't collect basketball. I said I was buying it because it was COVID time, and I waited 3 years. I would love to get something else, and maybe something really nice, And he's like, "I'll take care of you," and he was really cool. And I got the LaMelo Ball RPA 1 of 1 auto black box stamped. Now, I don't collect basketball. I know LaMelo's. He's going to be a good player. He's having a good year. He had some injury issues, but I looked on eBay, and there was someone else had one, and they were selling it for $30,000. Now, that was not a sold comp. That was a what's being listed comp. So I tested the waters, and I put it up on eBay for $25,000. I figured it's the same year. They're both rookie cards. They're both black box. They're just different brands within the Panini line. And I got nothing at all. So now it sits back on my shelf. So when we talk about pricing, I think people in the hobby have to learn that when you see something listed for something, that doesn't mean that's the comp.
Yeah. I wanted to dive into it a bit more, but I think we should save it for next time because I've probably got a good 10 minutes at least to go in on this. So we're at an hour already. So I think the Cacawow and a little bit of pricing we should wait for next time because
there's always going to be a next time, and there's always going to be something else. There's always going to be some other fool on Twitter that does something stupid that we're going to need to talk about. But this was awesome, Chris, getting back. A couple weeks we'll be back at it, and if we want to pick this up any other day during the week, let's just do that. We're having fun with it. I enjoy chatting with you. So have a good night. We'll get some clips up on Twitter tonight. We'll get some stuff up on Spotify, and we'll share this.
And if you're still watching live, Kevin, thanks, or anybody else. If you're watching later, we appreciate you being here an hour, 2 minutes, and 4 seconds into it. So.
Thanks a lot, Chris, man. Appreciate you. And thanks, Kevin, for joining and asking some questions. Have a great night.
Yep. Got to get those kids to bed, man. We'll see you.
Take care of them. Thanks. Bye.